booties for black girl nerds.
Thanks so much for taking the time to speak with me. I appreciate it.
Oh, Jamie, thank you. I love Black Girl Nerds. That's so great. I love nerds anyway, nerds are the best.
And we love you. And
The
we're
nicest
such,
people.
we are passionate people and we are nerds and geeks for all things Emma Thompson. Because look, I love your range when it comes to your roles. And I love hearing you in this like Fargo, North Dakota kind of accent that you give in this film.
Yeah.
And you're known for these wide range of roles. You've done these literary adaptations, you've done these biting comedies. What was different for you stepping into this darker, survival driven story?
Well, I mean, it's sort of exactly that, really. I read the script, and first of all, I thought Minnesota in winter. That sounds super cool. And when I say cool, I mean really cold. And I loved the fact that it had so much humor in it. Even the darkness was kind of funny and bonkers. Really bonkers. The sort of psychosis was just bliss. And I loved the fact that even though it was sort of a thriller, it was also a love story. And it was a love story about two extremely humble, quiet living people who had just had this wonderful life because they just loved each other so much all their lives. And there are so many people who have those lives, but we don't tell those stories. We only tell stories about people who are having the most frightful times, or indeed at the moment we appear to be completely obsessed with the super rich. And these are just ordinary people, but whose richness, whose wealth is all in their character and their relationships.
It's so beautiful and so poetic. And I just love the journey and trajectory of how we see that play out in this film. And this thriller, it thrives on tension. How do
Mm.
you as an actor sustain that intensity over long shoots without burning out?
You don't really have to. I mean, first of all, we were all trying to survive the Finnish winter, that was good for tension. Being cold is very good for tension. But actually, in a sense, the tenseness is not your job. That's the editor's job. Your job is to be in the moment, to be so focused, to be absolutely there, completely authentically there, so that when you do cut into whatever moment you cut into, it's real. It's absolutely real. And I loved the intensity of that focus throughout the shoot. Was just such a joy to me. The landscape, imagine being in that landscape. Shooting on that frozen lake was one of the greatest experiences of my professional life. It was extraordinary. Every time I went out on the lake, I said, I can't believe I'm here. And even if I was cold and my knees were bleeding and I'd been accidentally punched in the face by, a stunt person, or, well, that never happened actually, but yeah, to be specific, Judy Greer, you just go, I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky to be here.
Was the cold and isolation, because the cold and the isolation are almost characters themselves in a movie.
Yeah,
Did
right.
those elements push you creatively?
Yes. Oh my God, yes. Honestly, I think that there was no time to there was no time to think about anything else. Sometimes you'll be on a film set and you'll be required to repeat something, but you keep you're warm enough to go to your computer or to make a phone call in between setups, all that sort of thing. None of that was possible. You absolutely had to be there in this frozen place trying to keep warm. The whole film was a kind of act of survival, and that was fantastic to experience.
Wow. Was there a particular scene in Dead of Winter that demanded a completely different approach than what you initially expected?
um well, it was just it was things like being having to be pulled under the ice in the when
Mm.
she falls into the lake. You just don't know how to prepare for that. So you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how long it's going to take you to warm up. You don't know what it's going to, how frightened you're going to feel that two scuba divers are going to yank you to the bottom of the lake. You know, there was lots of unexpected jeopardy that was in the story, but also just it was just one of those things that every single day was unique.
Yeah. Yeah. What a unique film and what an incredible performance. Emma, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to Black Girl Nerds. I really appreciate the conversation.
Oh, and I appreciate you so much. Thank you so, so much. And lots of love to all Black girl nerds everywhere, all the time.
Thank you. Thanks so much for taking the time to speak with me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, Judy. This is the first time I think I've seen you in a role like this
Me
before.
too.
You did an incredible job. I love this for you. It's so refreshing. I
Thank
want to see you in
you.
more of these kind of roles.
Me
Uh,
too.
what excited you about tackling this kind of character in Dead of Winter?
Well, definitely Emma Thompson for sure. She is the end all be all. Like she's the one. So I basically said yes before I read the script, just to be around her. What was really fun, and exciting, obviously you touched on it, like I don't ever get offered roles like this. I like being I like playing against type, I guess. I think it's really fun and it's fun for me. And the thing that made this character so interesting to me was like how focused she was, how as complicated and layered as I wanted her to be. Like she wants one thing and she will stop at nothing to get it. And so I think in a sense it's kind of easy to do that when you just want one thing so badly. That I was able to just keep focused on that. Plus, it was really fun to work with Marc Menchaca, and he and I spent a lot of time talking about. I hope this resonates somehow with the audience, like who we were as a couple, what brought us together, how did we get to this place, like all of those things. And so it was kind of fun to think about the past, our past together.
The audience expectations are certainly subverted when we see your character versus his character in this film, which I really enjoyed.
Oh,
Do you
good.
prefer do you prefer to lean into the ambiguity of a character like this, or do you secretly decide for yourself who she really is?
I secretly decide who she really is. I like that better. Sometimes she changes over the course of a project, but I like to go in with an idea. I like to go in with a strong choice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. When you
Yeah.
first read the script, was there a moment where you thought, "Oh, this is going to shock people"?
Yeah, for sure. I was shocked. That's how I knew. I'm a really good audience. Like I never see anything coming. I'm shocked. I'm amazed. I'm horrified. So I definitely, when I read this, I was all of those things, and I was like, "This is going to be so cool. No one is going to believe it."
Yeah, yeah, and it took me by surprise for sure. Psychological thrillers often require restraint and performance. Did you find yourself holding back or going bigger in certain moments?
I kind of do it all and then let them decide in the edit what they like. And Brian Kirk was such a great director. He was so confident. And I feel like every day I went to work, I was trying different things and he seemed into all of it. Um, I like to give lots of options. So I found that there were some takes that had more restraint, some that went kind of over the top. Usually I kind of like start a little bigger and rein it in, um, just because it's a little bit easier to do depending on the time of day. Sometimes at 6 in the morning when I'm working, I start a little smaller and get a little bigger. But no, I was experimenting a lot. I like working that way. I don't usually pick one thing and stick with it.
There's really some great moments. I mean, there's amazing moments between you and Emma in this film. Was everything between the two of you on the page, or did you take any creative liberties with the dialogue?
My memory is that mostly it's on the page. Um, I could be wrong about that, but that's my memory. I remember like pitching lots of things to the writers and they'd be like, okay, yeah, let's try it. And then we would kind of try it. And then we would sort of like, and this happens a lot at work, is that when you have a script this good, it's like, I need to like work through a whole sort of like series of things to get to what's already on the page. And so usually if I have like a great director and like patient other actors, like we do that. And then we always just get back to the dialogue that's already been written.
Well, you did an incredible job, as I stated before. I love
Thank
seeing you in
you.
this role. I want to see you in more roles like this.
Fingers
Um,
crossed, me too. Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, because you leaned into this so well. And thank you so much for taking the time to speak to Black Girl Nerds. I appreciate the
Love it.
conversation.
Thank you. Take care.
Better shake your booties for Black Girl Nerds. Better shake your booties for Black Girl Nerds.